Stream is live, baby. Freaking blowing my ears out. I'm blowing my ears out, man. I don't know, man. Like, state of healers. Like, we need to talk about the state of healers. The state of healers right now is pretty damn poor. I will say that. Like, normally I main a healer. Like, every expansion I main a healer. I like healers. I don't know why I like healers. I don't know if it's the pressure of it, if it's the, like, yeah, I don't know if it's the pressure of it. Or if it's like I have a god complex or something because I get to choose who lives and dies. If you stand in random crap, you're probably gonna die. I'm probably not gonna heal you. But I know Resto Shaman's top of the heap. I know it. You can tell me about it all day long in comments and all that. I know Resto Shaman. You know, Water Chamois, Resto Chamois, whatever you want to call him. Top of the pile right now. I don't care for Shaman. I don't enjoy the playstyle. And that's my own personal opinion. That's not a dig at anybody that mains a Chamois or, you know, Blizzard or anything like that. But I don't know. I've never really got into the playstyle of Shaman. It's never really pulled me in. Druid pulled me in. Druid, I was having a lot of fun with Resto Druid. These last couple expansions were great. Like, we were in a great spot. And now we're at the bottom of the pile, which is to be expected. I kind of figured, you know, we were going to get kicked off our mountaintop there for a while. Freaking Holy Paladin is performing insanely well right now, which is really weird to say. Like, Holy Paladin's kind of been good for the last few expansions as well, like, really good, like, top of the heap, if not #1 spot. So for them to still be doing well, it's kind of Blizzard's love child, but I've played Resto Paladin. I played Holy Paladin. I can't think today. My brain's fried. I've played Holy Paladin, and wouldn't it be cool to have a Troll Paladin? Like, that'd be awesome. Freaking, but I don't know, man. Like, I kinda, you know, I just kinda. Ooh, I don't like his hair. There we go. That's more. That's more Blood Elfy to me. I don't know what I should call this guy. I really should. I don't know. guess I'll just go Cursed Pally. Throw him up into the warband. I still don't have level 80. I still don't have a max level character. I just... Like, my druid, my resto druid is the closest thing to level 80, I think 78 or 79 at this point. And,
Look sharp, recruit.
I can't bring myself to play my resto druid right now and just get up there.
Show me your skill in combat.
If that makes, like, I don't know what I'm getting at. Kind of forgot what I was talking about. Oh, resto druid, yeah. Welcome to ADHD. It's like a superpower, but you don't really get to control it.
Next week.
Shaman said the skies would be clear. Like, I can't really get into my resto druid right now because one, we're bottom of the heap. I hate being bottom. And internet's gonna eat me alive on that one. And it very much feels like you're on the struggle bus playing it. It's like to the point it's almost frustrating. And I don't know about you guys, but I play games to kind of forget about life for a little bit, you know? And like, getting frustrated playing something that I should be enjoying is not a good time. It's not like I'm in PvP and someone's just absolutely owning me. I suck at PvP, by the way. It's one of those things that I'm just not good at. I know I'm not good at it, so I don't do it. I've never really been a big PvP guy. Like, I dabbled in it. I got ranked one time. It wasn't, like, very high, but I did get ranked. And, I'm more like PvE, raiding, Mythic Plus, stuff like that. That's where I kind of like to hang at. And, yeah, it should never be getting frustrated when you're playing something to relax. Of, like, you know, I come home from work, I jump out of the game, and now I stream. I started streaming, I guess you would say full-time, well, part-time. I don't really do it as a full-time gig, but part-time, but I try to stream daily. Try to get content out daily. Ooh, finally got Judgment, huh? You don't like my pee.
The Horde leaves no one behind.
Watch, it's gonna freaking completely lock me out here.
Recruit! You survived. We need to regroup at once.
Told you. I think I know what it is. I think it's Gilbot. I think it's my add-on that's just screwing me.
Stay focused on recover our supplies.
But yeah, I come home, I jump on the game,
dangerous in packs.
Have fun, try to forget about how crappy and crummy my day was. And I go on from there. Like, I don't want to come home, play a game, and have it frustrate the hell out of me. Like, that's not fun. And I play games to have fun. And I try to stream that fun. And I try to explain the whole concept and, I guess, vision to my wife. Well, I completely miss him on that. I'm horrible at placing stuff. Of, like, you know, I just want to play games, and I want to share my experience, I guess is the best way to put it. Is I want to share my experience. Maybe someone finds me entertaining. Maybe someone clicks on it and goes, hey, you know, I kind of like this idiot. But, I don't know, like, stranger things have happened, you know?
Stay sharp. Danger surrounds us.
Everyone's like, oh, you can't turn that into a career. I'm like, I'd beg to differ. I would.
We'll find the expedition yet.
If, I don't know what my age range is on here. It is late in the stream, but, I won't go into too much detail, but some of the things that people watch online will astound you. I'm just saying. So, wow. That's what I get for working all day. I should cut that out. I should cut that out, but maybe someday I'll, you know, go full time. But I don't know. Like, I try to make content and stream daily. I did miss Saturday. I literally came home. Typically, my wife's not up when I get home because we work different shifts from each other.
Nothing could keep me from her.
So that's why I stream late night. It's like the perfect time because it's just me. I don't have to worry about, you know, anything else, anyone else, other than the dogs and the cat. But they really don't give a crap. Kind of do their own thing. Especially the cat. Like, the cat is just so independent for the most part. Till he wants food or he wants attention, then he's like on you. But so when I stream, it's really just me, so no one's really missing out on time with me. And I work an insane amount of hours right now. And that's something the wife brought up. She's like, you already, like, she thought I was, like, going out, getting a separate building, and starting a brick-and-mortar business. And I'm like, that's not what it is at all. Like, I'm streaming my gameplay. If it takes off, it takes off. If it doesn't, oh well. It'd be great if it took off.
Increases your holy power. You'll need it.
Like, I'd love to just be able to entertain all day. You know, chase a dream. No, definitely chasing it. Put that short out, chasing it. But it's one of those things of, man, I don't know why I did that.
You have enough holy, not bad, recruit.
But like, I explained the whole meat and potatoes of it to her, and she's like, oh, okay, I mean, she could care less. She'll tell me to go down and play games, and she's like, you need to go play video games or something. But I work an insane amount of hours. I don't remember what I was getting to now. I work an insane amount of hours, and she's like, you know, you really want to start, you know, as she put it, a side hustle. She goes, you really want to start a side hustle. She goes, you are working the same amount of hours, like, you want to work more. And I'm like, yeah, it's, you know, an opportunity to have my own thing and just chase it. Like, go out, and I don't want to look back and have that regret of I should have done XYZ. You know, I should have done XYZ when I had time. And be on my deathbed and be on my deathbed. My bread's death. Be on my deathbed and just look back and have that regret. You know, life's too short to have regrets. And I told her that, like, you know, life's too short, and it's something that's been in the back of my head for years. Of like, I really want to do it, but I'm too afraid to go on camera. I'm too afraid to really talk in front of anybody. Like, I'm a shy person. And right now, it's just me sitting in front of my computer screen with a webcam on, talking into a microphone, playing a stupid game. That's what it is. And like we went out to breakfast today, and she's like, you know, what if someone recognizes you? I was like, that'd be awesome. Like that'd be kind of cool actually. Of like getting to be out and someone be like, hey man, you know, I watch your stream, or you know, I watch your videos, or this or that. And to me, that'd be awesome. I have YouTubers I follow that I look up to and idolize, and it would be so awesome just to, you know, go, oh hey, hi, you know, seeing you in public, like, cool. A couple of them I probably mean mug them, but I don't want to let them go now. But you know, there's a time and a place. There's a way to do it, right? It's like the athletes will tell you. There's a way to approach someone in public, and you know, don't just start snapping photos. I remember one interview that, like, I used to be really big into wrestling, and there was one interview I watched of Undertaker, of, like, outside of the ring, he's not Undertaker, he's, you know, a normal dude, and he's out with his family, and it got me thinking, like, watching this interview got me thinking, like, you know, if I ever became popular or recognizable, right? Well, I won't say famous, but because like fame's a horrible thing. But like, it goes to a lot of people's heads, and it makes people do a lot of stupid stuff. But if I would call it being, you know, recognizable or an influencer. You know, if someone came up to me and I was out with my family, you know, what would I do? It really got me thinking, and I'm like, man, like, you know, there's a time and a place, right? And I can't, like, if I'm in public, I can't be completely mad about it. I can't be a complete butthole about it. But it would probably, like, the way I would play it out, especially, like, if it was just me, it'd be one thing. You know, if I wasn't in a rush to get somewhere. Yeah, you know, just sit there, talk to you for a few minutes, take a couple photos, whatever. And, you know, you're happy, I'm happy. Cool experience, right? But if I'm with my family, hey, give me a minute, let me get them out of here, and then, you know, take the photos, we'll chit-chat for a couple minutes, this, that. Not a problem. And Undertaker's real name, for all of you that don't know, is Mark Calloway.
Be quiet. I see something.
And he's like, you know, he did the same thing, like, you know, hey, if I'm out with my family, you know, it's cool to approach me, but approach me this way, of like, hey, I'm with my family, let me get them squared up, and then we'll take the photos, do the thing, right? As he said, we'll do the thing. And I was like, that, to me, that's fair. Like, to me, that's fair. It's not trying to put off fans. It's not like, oh, well, how dare you approach me in public? Like, I get it. People are excited. I would be the same way if I ran into Undertaker. I would be excited, you know. I would be, if I ran into someone I idolized, I would be excited. So, being the flip side of the coin, yeah, I can't talk today either. I'm tripping over words. But being on the flip side of that would be like, hey, yeah, I got, you know, I have no problem with that. Just let me square some stuff up real quick. Be like, oh, hey, you know, you are so-and-so. Like, oh, I thought so. I'll be like, oh, hey, you know, what's up, you know. Can't really be grumpy about it. I mean, that and some people, like, dude, you run into some influencers, and they're assholes, like, straight up. There's no other way to put that. They're straight up mean. And I think what they fail to realize is that, see, this is where fame comes in, right? Not so much, like, influential, but just fame. Like, the fame goes to your head. You're like, oh man, I'm huge, I don't need you guys. That's the wrong thing. That's the wrong way of thinking, because without your fans, guess what? You don't have the lifestyle you have. You don't have anything you have. So to treat your fan base like absolute dog water and just trash is wrong. Well, yeah, like, you know, if you ever came out, I was out and about, and you're like, hey, you know, is it cool we take a couple photos? Yeah, sure, that's cool. No problem. What's not cool is, you know, going to someone's house. I've seen a rash of that lately with a couple of the people I watch on YouTube. Of people literally showing up to their house, and I'm like, that's not okay. Like, that's crossing a boundary. You know, it's kind of like where our boundaries really at with celebrities and all that. Again, would never consider myself a celebrity. Would never consider myself famous.
I will do whatever it takes.
But
As you command. The ogres are using.
you know, there's got to be a boundary being a fan as well. Like, I would never go to one of the people I follow. I would never go and to that level
Worse than this.
and be like, hey, I'm going to show up at your house and you're going to be happy about it. Like, no, you show up to my house, you're probably going to get a gun in your face. Like, just the meat and potatoes of it. You know, like, you're there to... I'm under the assumption, anyways, that you're there to do me harm. And that's not a great feeling. Like, hell no, you know? I don't want anyone to be in that situation, so, like, definitely don't show up to the house. That would be a bad time. That'd be a bad time for everybody. But, like, events and stuff, yeah, that's what the events are for, is, like, meet and greets and stuff. Like, I don't know if anyone watches Cletus McFarland, but he's had a rash of it lately. People showing up to a shop, to his house. And he's like, hey, like, Demolition Ranch had people jump his security gate. Like, hey, man, I really want a job. Like, it's not the way to go about it at all. Like, that's going to get you in trouble, because at that point, it's trespassing. And my wife asked me about that too. She's like, you know what? If this thing blows up and you become more recognizable, she goes, what happens to the security here at home? And I'm like, that's, you know, that's what the cops are for. Like, I'm calling the cops and I'm telling them, hey, I got some person on my property that needs to go. And either you guys do it or I do it. And I'd much rather have law enforcement do it than me do it. Because I know how I'm gonna handle it, and it's not gonna be fun. Like, I'd be upset at that point. Let's put it that way. I'd be very upset that someone wouldn't have enough brains to go, hey, you know, maybe I should not do this. Maybe I should respect that invisible boundary. But, like, public is what it is. You know, as long as I got things squared up, I got no problem with it. Home, that's like personal space, man. Like, you don't want someone going in your bedroom through your stuff, right? That's how I would take that, is that someone's going through my bedroom through my stuff, but it's my property.
They seem to have captured a first.
But it's wild. It's wild, you know, that people don't have that
Take care of yourself.
thought process, but
Stay ready.
mine's very, very broken tonight, but
Herbert, I'll cut a path straight through these harpies.
Count me in.
it's one of those things of, like, really, guys, like, we really got to have this conversation. I don't want to have that conversation with anybody of, like, why they shouldn't be at my front door. Why they thought it was a good idea to be at my front door and go through that whole process, because there'd be, like, at that point, law enforcement would probably be called, and it would be a bad time for all. Like, I don't want anything to happen to you guys that's going to follow you around for probably ever, probably go on your record, because it is trespassing, and I would press charges. Like, that's absolutely how that would be. Like, this guy is, this person, whatever, is out to get me. And, would not be a fun time.
Let us strike them
No.
down.
But, like, having events and stuff like that, absolutely come out to those.
Do not fight alone.
Meet and greets, catch me in public. Like I said, I'm by myself. There's a way to do it. There's a way to go about it. Hey, is it cool? Ask permission. That's what I'm getting at. Ask permission. Hey, is it okay? Hey, are you so-and-so? I'll be like, yeah, hey, is it... Don't go, hey, are you so-and-so? And then stick a camera in my face and just start snapping, you know? You got your phone all, like, in my face and stuff. Like, that's not cool. You know, I'm pretty sure you guys wouldn't like it either if I did that.
Something big is coming this way.
Then we slay it together for the Horde.
But yeah, at the same time, you know, you gotta be kind of cool with your fan base, because your fan base at the end of the day does make you who you are. Like, they afford you so many opportunities. So for some of these content creators and streamers and gamers and what have you, to be absolute booty holes to their fans is just mind-boggling to me. Like, why? Like, just absolutely why? Never understood it. We'll never understand it. There's athletes that are like that, and I'm like, bro, like, yeah, you might be really good at whatever sport you play.
Let's make ourselves scarce, shall we?
But man, like, maybe that person doesn't wear your jersey anymore. Maybe that person doesn't follow you anymore. Like, you're losing. Like, you're hurting yourself on that. And you're also making a really, really crummy experience for that fan. Of, like, that is something that someone will remember forever. Forever. That just... And you don't want negative experiences. You want positive ones. There's so much negativity in this dang world that you don't need to put more into it. Like, people are already having a hard enough time. So maybe them catching you out in public is their just that little, hey man, like, the world's maybe not such a bad place, right? Maybe that's what it is, but there's a way to go about it on both sides. And honestly, I have no issue with it as long as it's done correctly. So, you know, don't be jamming cameras in my face and stalking me and stuff, but absolutely, you know, catch me in public, or you catch me at an event or something, be like, hey man, what's up? And then, you know, it'd be fun. It'd be a fun, good experience for both of us. And that's what I want. I want fun, good experiences for both of us. You know, don't come into public and, you know, point a finger in my, or catch me and point a finger in my face and, you know, tell me I'm no good. That's not fun. It's not very nice. I don't do that to you, but like today I had my first couple of YouTube comments, and like the alert went off, and I'm like, oh boy, like, here we go, and it was on a short that I posted about, you know, Resto Druid. Do I just suck, or is Resto Druid really that broken? Turns out the answer is a little bit of both.
Maintain your balance.
Interested in some experimentation?
Well fought. We're one step closer to crushing those.
What am I, level 8? Alright. But, yeah, it was cool. That was a cool experience, man. Like, I was like, oh boy, you know, someone's gonna tell me to eat a satchel full of Richards or something. Like, here we go. And I text my wife. I go, hey, I got my first couple of YouTube comments. Like, I'm kind of concerned that, you know, they're not gonna be nice. And then she fired back at me, and she's like, well, how were they? I'm like, actually, they're actually pretty awesome. Like, it was a great experience. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm like, let's go.
No pressure.
But you know, I'm gonna end up getting like negative experiences with the comment system as well. I know it. I know it's coming. It's part of the internet. Someone's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm having a bad day," so I'm gonna take it out on somebody else. I'm that somebody else a lot of the time. And I don't know why. I don't know why I attract people like that, but I do. And I'm not just talking about here. I'm talking about like, in general. But yeah, I was pretty stoked. I was like, that's awesome. Like that made my day better. Like I was having kind of a crummy day, dealing with a lot of work stuff, and I seen that. And I was like, like that person's nice. Like, all right, I get it. Like, sweet. So that made me happy. It was a bright spot, right? Tiny little victories. That's always why I tell my boss he hates it so much. He hates it so much. I'm like, remember, boss, tiny little victories. He's like, oh, if I have to hear that one more time. And part of me does it just to annoy him, like because I know it gets under his skin, and I generally like annoying him. But at the same time, I would and have moved a lot of stuff for him, pulled him out of the fire a few times. Of like, hey, you know, things.
Thank you, friend. I will bear us to safety. Hop on.
You know, things aren't going so hot. Things aren't going so hot.
On Shay. Watch over
You know, I noticed that, you know, this is going on and I can fix it. You want me to fix it? And he's, oh yeah. And now it's to the point that my boss and I have enough of a relationship, like working relationship, not intimate. Get your mind out of the gutters. We have enough of a relationship to where I might talk to him once a day, and just I'm fully autonomous. Like it's great. Like it's a great feeling that I'm trusted like that. And other people that are in the organization aren't trusted like that, and it drives them nuts. Like I don't understand why he's got to micromanage me all the time. I'm like, because he doesn't trust you. Like that's what that is. I'm like, hey, if I have a question, believe me, I'll get a hold of you.
They deserved better.
Well, if you be putting it that way.
But he pretty much knows that I can run the whole place and have very few issues at this point. I've proved it time and time again.
Seen the spiders we trolls be dealing with? Sure, you'll not be a fan of them either.
And he's like, I know I have nothing to worry about with you, blah blah blah. I'm like, he goes, I know you're not going anywhere. You're under the rocks, and I'm like, yeah. He does not know about the channel. Like, have not told him about my side hustle. Like he's got a few side hustles of his own that, you know, that he shared, and some side hustles that I could really spend some money at. One of them is I guess there's an app out there. He was telling me about it, showing me about it, that you can resell like shoes and clothing and stuff like that. He's a big sneakerhead. Of like new shoes come out, he's got them. Like that's where his hustle's at, I guess you would say. And man, like you need the brand new J's, he's got them. Like I've hit him up a couple of times, like, yo bro, like man, you got them green and whites. He goes, size you need.
for the Horde.
He's like, you know I got you. You know I got you. The amount of times that you've had my back, I'm like, I know.
Willing test subject.
So,
Such a
it's not like a lot of people hate him.
Now act
Well,
like an
a lot of
officer
people are
and
idiots
get
too.
us inside.
So, I'm just saying.
Speak. Just smile and wait.
Like, if you know how to handle him, he's not bad at all. Like, I've had way worse bosses. And my wife asked me, she goes, so, you know, say a couple years from now, channel blows up, you're super recognizable,
See if we can learn anything.
opportunities there that, you know, you can
What do we have here?
have a comfortable living. I won't say extravagant living, but comfortable living.
Fill them with the wardstone
You know, carry out maybe a few of your dreams.
and leader. It is
What do you do if you're 9 to 5?
time
Which
atop
isn't
the
9 to 5, but,
citadel. Then all
you know, what do you do if you're your day job?
us.
And I'm like,
Warlord Thunder.
I'd probably leave it. Like, to be honest with you, I'd probably leave it.
Now.
Raw strength won't be
And
enough.
if she goes,
We
yeah, I
must
go.
end the spell.
I'd have more
The
time
Horde has endured
at
worse
home.
than this.
I'd have more time to spend with my family.
Force them to break
Like
the
that.
Warlord.
That's what I want.
Some
That
experimentation.
that is my ultimate dream. Of to be able to be like, hey man, like, yeah, we can go do whatever. Like, my schedule's wide open. And be able to shift things around at the whim. And I've explained that to her, like, that is one of my biggest regrets right now of, like, how much I work. Like, I get it, because I work so much, we have a great life, blah, blah, blah. But, I'll be honest with you, I'm not happy. Like, yeah, I've got a ton of money already this year, and I'm just not happy. Like, everyone that says, oh, money will fix it, they're wrong. They're 100% wrong. Like the song says, more money, more problems. Because guess what I'm trading for that money? Time, right? We're paid to do a job. We're paid for our time. Like, our time is our number one biggest freaking asset we have. Any of us have. We never know how much of it we have. We never know when it's going to run out. We never know when it's going to hit zero, right? We never know when we're going to go bankrupt on time. What happens when you go bankrupt on time? You die. So, you know, you got to make the most of it. You got to utilize what you have. And it's one of those things of you're always flying blind. There's no time machine. There's no way to go, hey, you know, on this date, I know by this date that it's all over. So I try to make the most of it. And, you know, I'm like, you know, being able to be flexible and have more time to spend with you and the kid would be just absolutely amazing to me. Like, it would be such an awesome thing. And it already got it to where my daughter, or I should say our daughter, pretty much doesn't have to worry about anything other than focusing on her college career. Like, she doesn't have to work if she doesn't want to, but she chooses to work. Like, I'm like, that's on you. Like, I told you, like, as long as you're in college, I have no problem giving you money. None. And she's doing amazing in college. Like, she's got opportunities I never had. And at the end of the day, that's what you want for your kid. Is that let them have opportunities you never had. Opportunities you never had. Of course, I didn't bring anything to drink with me today. That figures. But she's doing great, man. Like, she's absolutely crushing it. She's in her second year, and I'm just like beyond stupidly proud. Like, absolutely just beyond stupidly proud. Because she's going out, she's living on campus, and it's just, I told her, like, know, you don't have to do this. Like, no, I want the experience. I was like, all right, like, you do you, boo boo, but. So she's now working 2 part-time jobs, going to school full-time, and just doing everything that goes on with that. There's like, I think she's overdoing it, but that's just me.
Boss say you too late.
But man, it's wild. Like, it's wild to be like, hey, you know, I'm not even in my 40s yet, and I have a second-year college student as a child. But she's not a child. She's 19. But she'll always be like, I was going through photos earlier today,
It's insane.
and I was like, wow, like I feel so freaking old because this literally feels like it was yesterday. Like this photo was being taken, literally felt like yesterday, and I'm just like, wow, like this is nuts. This is nuts. Like this is how much
Thanks, but we must still end
an old struggle. Like
How may I aid you? Farewell.
we never once showed her our struggle of like putting food on the table, making sure the lights stay on, making sure we have water, you know, keeping a roof over our head. Like the struggle was, oh my, it was bad. Like, really bad. And she'll, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I don't have it yet. Is that the other side? Yeah, it's the other side. I get a holy shock. Okay. I don't want to be damaged though. Let me heal it. Let's go. But yeah, she never seen the struggle of like we did a really good job of hiding it from her. And I hate, you know, I hate being like, yeah, you know, I had to hide it from my daughter, but man, I'm telling you, like, there were times that, you know, Dad, why aren't you eating? Like, there wasn't enough to go around. I wanted to make sure that, you know, she had new clothes for school. I didn't want like the cheap stuff because kids are vicious, man. Like, I grew up with a lot of hand-me-downs. I grew up with a lot of, you know, Kmart shoes and stuff like that. Like, people know about Kmart shoes are of a certain age. Oh man, you got Kmart shoes. Oh, your family's poor. You know, that whole thing, and you just, it was bad. Like, I mean, the fact I still remember it to this day and age says something, right? Again, bad experience.
That's one of Gorgroth's bodyguard.
But yeah, as
Recruit! You strike first. I'll charge in. I'll draw his
I never wanted her to know that struggle.
Heal our wounds. As you command. Loktar!
Keep moving. Gorgroth must be close.
Yeah, rode my horse in. So yeah, so her to, you know, be able to go to school and not really have to worry about anything. It's just awesome. Like you go, you get the experience, you have the fun, get a great job.
Prepare to join your
This
precious
and that.
dragon in death.
Puny vermin, you will not stop the ritual. Not after all we have done.
So literally, I told the guys at work tonight, like, we were discussing how much we've worked already this year, right? Being September. They're like, you know, how much, you know, I got this many hours in the year already. I'm like, you guys are chumps. And they're like, why? I'm like, I got 2,400 hours in county already this year. 2,400 hours in the first 9 months. I live at work. Like, straight up. I make guest appearances here at the house. I live at work. And it affords opportunities that I never had growing up. That's why I do it. A lot of people ask me, you know, why? Like, my heart could be screwing up and I'm still at work. Like, literally, like, you know, should probably go to the hospital and have it checked out. And nope, gotta stay at work, working on something, gotta stay at work. My wife asked me about that. She's like, well, you know, I don't understand why you're like that. I'm like, man, I'll tell you why. I had a dream job. I had a dream. I had my dream job. Like, straight up.
Together, we can put an end to these rituals, mount the river, and fly home to Orgrimmar. Glory awaits us.
Straight up, I had it.
To think those brutes could wield such magic. If
Like, straight up, I had it.
Time to study it.
I am glad that you do not. This island must be allowed to heal.
And it was awesome. Like, I loved going to work every day. Loved what I did.
An impressive display of the Horde's strength. Those ogres would do well to run and hide.
Like, seriously, like, that is huge.
Come, recruits. It is time we return to our home.
Wow, is this echoing again? Yup, sure is. I gotta have to turn this thing off every damn time, aren't I? There, is that better?
Azeroth faces countless threats. Bold heroes are needed to rise up
Is it better?
and defend her. For the Horde!
Is it better?
Ah, it's better. I don't know why it just auto defaults. Ugh. I hate that. I hate that my crap does that, but I don't know why it auto defaults to. I know my way around. I don't need a quest to be like, this is where you have to go. I'm gonna help you pay. I don't need that. I don't need that quest at all. Like that. That's stupid. It's stupid. I'll tell you what, son. Back in my day, oh, so pretty. Ooh, so pretty. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Get good. Get good, noob. Like, you'd hear a lot of people say that. Get good, noob. Back in the day, man. Like, this game used to be super toxic. Like, oh my god, it was bad. Kind of like Call of Duty. Call of Duty's still really toxic. Like, there are a lot of toxic players on there. It's kind of why I don't play it.
Meet me in Orgrimmar, where I am about to present the Aspect's invitation to the Horde.
I'm waiting for the new one to come out, though. Come out in October.
Heroes of the Horde.
That'll.
Dragon Isles have awakened and beckoned.
Nobody cares. Stop with it, please. Stop with it. Just stop. Just stop. Get some help. I think. Oh, of course. Of course, it's the one I hate. It's the one I hate. I hate them all, but it's not a quick one. It's not a quick one. This one kind of sucks. But yeah, it's super cool. It's super cool that. Yeah, it's not what I wanted.
Good. You're here.
Oh my god.
Onora's rage. When the winds are still, I will
Reload my UI again.
The Tirai, Shikar, and Onir clans must rally to free her and defeat Balakar Khan.
I can spare no hunters for the Kanamatra now. The proto-dragon Granite was nearly in our grasp when Balakar's warriors ambushed us. We must retake our
Heck yeah, Pally Power.
drive the Nokrut back.
Pally Power.
Granite's blood
No one cares about the story. The story is useless. Let's go. Ooh, they got a bleed on me, huh? Ooh, check this out. Pally's falling from the sky. Got it. Nailed it.
Keep retaking the weapons. 2 more remain.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Nearly there. See to the final weapon.
Spells. I need some spells. Yeah, horse squad, let's go. Oh, it's stunned. I knew that was coming. I didn't get out of that quick enough.
The battle has turned. The weapons are ours. I will dispose of the outsiders myself.
I need a target.
Granite has landed.
Ooh,
Strike
big
now.
dragon. Creepy looking dragon guy.
The Shikar will hunt Balakar down at Nokudan Hold.
But yeah, it's like freaking, it's wild, man. Like, it'd be like, here you go out into the world. It's a terrifying thing as a parent. Of like, now I understand why they were like, no, you need to stay at home. You don't need to go anywhere. You know, maybe you shouldn't go to that party. Now I get it. Like, I didn't understand it at the time. I was pissed off about it at the time. Man, there's gonna be girls there. Why won't you let me go? Now I get it. Like, now I get all the worry. All the concern. And it sucks. It sucks that I'm only just, figuring that out as a parent, but...
must be quieted, and the elemental within it defeated, before Clan O'Neill can join the Kanamatra. Their primalist allies have placed totems that protect this raging tempest. Find them, and destroy them. Truly a blasphemous idol.
Let's go. Oh man, why are you beating up on me? Paladins falling from the sky. Gonna poke you in the eye. Hey, it's a bird. It's playing. Nope. Just friendly neighborhood paladin. Oh, why you guys gotta do that? Horsey. Yeah, we already took care of the pack too. Nice. Nice, let's go. Oh yeah, I had, oh, I know what I was talking about now. I forgot. I literally forgot what I was talking about. Stupid rocks. Rocks are difficult, man. Let's go. Nothing for you.
Today we use Onara's gifts to free her. We will journey to Nokudan Hold.
Fly, outsider. Balakar's power grows.
No, they're not all shiny now. What the? That's a bummer. But I got distracted by candy. That happens. I'm food motivated, man. I'm a
Clan Ukel has
I'm
allied with
food
Clan
motivated.
Today, they will regret that alliance. They have desecrated the graves of our first ancestors, Tira and Maruk. Destroy these grave robbers and return our ancestors to their rest before they are forced to fight in Barakar's name.
My ancestors.
Paladin coming for your face.
I will stomp on your grave.
He will too. I've seen him do it. I've seen him stomp on graves. He's a grave stomper. That's like so horrible. It's so horrible to call somebody, you dirty grave stomper, you.
Praise me.
Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. No, wait. Almost much better. Almost much better. Holy light. Oh, that's big chunky boy. Why? Boink.
I am the messenger of death.
Not today, booty holes.
First ancestors shall rise.
There we go. That's way better. Booty holes. But yeah, I've had one of my dream jobs. Like that was awesome. Man, my dream job was dreamy, man. But no, like it was totally cool. It was totally awesome. And I wouldn't have traded it for anything. And it just really sucks how it ended.
I will stomp on your grave.
Like part of the whole GFC stuff, man. Like the people that know about the GFC, that lived through the GFC, you guys are
I cannot face my
like,
ancestors.
man, that was.
Why has our rest been disturbed?
I'm out of range.
On our sacred grounds?
You shall pay for this blasphemy with your lives.
Nope, get out. Bail. Someone got hit with it, didn't they? It's kind of funny.
Wind guides my arrows.
Peace at last.
Where's my loot? Where's my loot?
Balakar Khan is beyond mercy. Clan Tirai will join our Khan at Nokudan Hold.
But yeah, like, it was awesome. Like, it was something that I sat in high school classes like, I don't need this class, I know what I'm going to do. And I went and did it. Like, I put my mind to it, and I figured out a way to go and do it. And the great financial collapse happened, and my job was deemed
Centaur,
no longer valid. I guess is how I would put it.
rage of Onara
It was deemed that I was no longer of value,
Follow the thunder of your Khan's attack.
and that was deemed very, very quickly.
Onir, the Wind Mother calls us.
Well, I wouldn't say very quickly. I made it all through almost all the cuts except for the last one. Like, they got me on the very last one, and it was miserable, dude. Like, oh my god, it was so bad. And I was like, man, like I just bought a new car like 6 months ago. If I would have known that this was coming, I wouldn't have done it. I want to put myself in that financial position, that financial burden, blah 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 blah. And they're like, I'm sorry, you know, I'm sorry for your, you know, financial burden, but that's not our problem. It is literally what I was told. I'm like, well, I gotta finish. They're like, no, you don't have to finish anything. Like, you're being escorted out. And I'm like, what? They're like, your stuff is already packed. You are being escorted out. And I'm like, guys, I'm like, no threat. Like, I knew all the security people there and everything, and of course, you know, they had one of my favorites come and do it, and I was like, I requested that. I was like, you know, if I want to be. If I want to be escorted out by anybody, his name was Ernie. And I was like, if I want to be escorted out by anybody, I want to be escorted out by Ernie. And they go, why? I'm like, because he's the one that helped get me this. And it's not like the fact that I wanted to be like, you know, look at the pain and suffering that you caused me after, you know, me being here for so long. It was more of a full circle, and I got to thank him. I got to see him one last time, and it wasn't too long after that he actually ended up passing away. He ended up dying in surgery, but turns out that he had cancer throughout his whole body. No one knew it. They didn't know it until they opened it up on the table, and they go, "Oh, like, oh crap! Like this is done. Like there's no fixing what was wrong." And I didn't know. Like, I didn't know. I found out afterwards, like months and months afterwards, and I was like, it destroyed me. And by that point, I was already like deep into trying to save everything before I lost everything, and I did lose everything. Like, it was insane. Like, 2008 was rough, man. Like, 2008 was bad. I kept watching like different people, you know, working my dream job of getting to do car stuff, and watching all these people, different departments get let go all the time, and I'm like, it's, you know, kind of chalked it up. It's the auto industry. They're not going to hit me. They need me. Da 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 da. And I was very arrogant back then. And it turns out they ended up not needing me in the end. But I was watching all these different departments get just absolutely wiped out, and I'm like, wow, like that kind of sucks, you know. But at the same time, with what I was doing, I had access to a ton of vehicles. Like, anything I wanted at any time, I could take. And it was great. There'd be times that I'd come home in a truck for the weekend. Like, I needed to move something, I'd bring home a truck, and Monday morning I'd go into work, and I'd come home with some high-end sports car. And I was like, oh, this is great, you know, I'm young, gonna hit up the clubs, do all this stuff, you know, do all the stupid stuff, you know, kind of false flex. And it was very much like, my buddy's like, oh man, let's hit up the club, what car you got, let's hit up the club, all the girls we're gonna get. And that's what we did. Like, it was fun. I got to do a lot of cool stuff. I got to meet a lot of cool people. I got to make a lot of cool relationships, stuff like that. With people in the industry that otherwise I would have never had any inkling of letting them know I even existed. So, like, going and getting to do everything and go to like all the car shows and, you know, represent a brand was awesome. Get paid for it was like cherry on top. I was like, this is so great. And then the very last cut, they go, yeah, well, you know, I seen the nice suit come in, and I was like, ooh, this one's gonna be rough. And it was in our department, and they came out, poked their head in with a clipboard, and just started checking, check. And like they were trying to hide us all day of like, they're not here, you can't do it, they're not here, you have to do it in person. And we happened to just pop in for a coffee real quick, and they got it. They pulled us all in and got us. And it sucked, man. Like it was like life-changing, and not in a good way. Like it was life-changing in a bad way. Like literally, like if you lost your job right now, you'd pretty much be screwed. No one's prepared for that. And you know, I lost my job, and then 6 months later, my parents, my mom and my stepdad divorced. So that was like turn all of that upside down and deal with all of that fallout, which was just absolutely insane. Of dealing with all that, and you know, telling them, hey, don't, please, whatever you do, it's not my relationship, don't put me in the middle. Like that's all I ask. Don't make me monkey in the middle. And they're like, no problem. And I told them, you know, if you make me monkey in the middle, if I ever have a grandkid or you know, ever make you grandparents someday, like you'll never see the kid, like you'll have nothing to do. And I laid it out, like I laid it out right then and there, like this is what you guys will be losing, of like straight up, of like this is between you guys, don't put me in the middle of he said, she said, because I'm not taking sides. And I told them the only way that I would take sides if it ever became physical. Like, I loved my stepdad to death, but like he was the dad I never had. But it was one of those things that if he ever laid a finger on my mom, I was destroying him. I was taking him off the face of the planet. And I let them both know that. Like, dude, if it ever gets physical, I am taking her side every time, because you're a dude and she's a chick. Like, straight up, like that's not bueno. There was no bueno. Like, not having it. And it came to that point. It absolutely came to that point, and I don't regret that decision for a second. Like, there was one day they were in the kitchen, and I remember we had this cookie jar. Had it for like the whole time of me growing up. Had this cookie jar, and it was literally, I remember why we got the cookie jar, because I was obsessed with Ghostbusters, and it was like one of the jars they had in the lab when he's like, when oh crap, the dude with the glasses, I can't remember his name, had the whole huge brain bucket on, and he's like, yes, have some. Like, it was one of those jars, and I seen it as a kid, and I would not put it down. I was like, this is from Ghostbusters, like I gotta have it. And I remember hearing that lid come off that cookie jar and that lid go flying, and my mom breaking that cookie jar, because she's the one, like, he was not in his right mind at that point. He was very much under the influence of something, and I don't know what it was. Still don't know what it was to this day. But she used that lid to actually defend herself. Like, I got to the bottom of everything. She used the lid to defend herself. So it wasn't her starting something. It was her trying to stop from being attacked. And I remember I got a hold of him, and it was on. Like, the only thing that popped me out of it was the cops showing up.
Well done. You have secured the first pool. Now,
And we were both beat up pretty bad. Like, I was sitting there in handcuffs, laughing, just bleeding all over the place. Like, dude, that was worth it. Like, it was worth it. And he's like, you just screw, you know, I remember him telling me I just screwed up my life. How could I? Da 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 da. I'm like, dude, you were about to whoop on a female. Like, that doesn't fly in my presence. Like, I will not allow that. Like, as a guy, you should have a higher standard than I'm gonna beat up on a girl. Like, not cool. Not cool. Not okay. And he's like, well, you're out of my house. I'm like, well, lucky for you, it's neither of your house, and da 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 da. He's like, mine, you know, this whole shindig went down, and like, from that day on, we didn't really talk to each other. And like, we didn't talk to each other for 10 years. So that, you know, that was kind of just the way things went. And one day I get out on social media and I find him. Like, I tracked him down. I kind of kept loose tabs on him, like what he was up to. And because he was like a super cool dude. And then he got just involved in some bad stuff, man, and it changed him. And like, I get it. I totally get the whole cycle of addiction and all that. And I finally reached out, like, after 10 years. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna reach out. I'm about to get married, and it would kind of be, it would have been weird, but it would have been cool at the same time for him to at least be there and be like, hey, you know, look what I've done. You know, look what I've done with my life, and, you know, get to meet his grandkid and all this stuff. And because, like, the whole divorce went down, all that stuff, and, you know, he didn't know. Like, he had no idea that, hey, you know, by the way, oops. Not really oops, like, it's a happy thing, but definitely wasn't planned. And you know, I reached out to him, got talking with him, and he got the help he needed. And I was like, oh man, I'm like, it's awesome, you know, it's awesome. I'm like, because you are, you know, a super cool dude, and, you know, I'd like to have, like, a relationship with you and stuff, and, you know, for you to meet my family and all this. And then it was dropped on me that, you know, he had, you know, I'm like, you know, what you been up to, you know, where you at, you know, the whole basic stuff, like trying to loosely figure out logistics. And he dropped on me that he had terminal cancer. And, well, he didn't tell me it was terminal cancer. I had to figure it out that was terminal cancer. But he was like, yeah, you know, I had lung cancer. And I was like, you know, no surprise, you know, being a heavy smoker and stuff for so many years. I wouldn't be surprised if I had it. Just being around secondhand smoke all the time, growing up. And, you know, former smoker myself, I would not be surprised if I had, like, COPD and lung cancer, all that boo-ha-ha stuff. But it was one of those. He's like, yeah, you know, I had lung and bladder cancer. And I was like, wow. I'm like, oh man. He's like, oh, I beat it. He's like, I beat it. I won that. He goes, but not before it metastasized. So meaning it moved. He goes to his liver and his spine. So I'm like, oh. He goes, yeah. He just, I remember it clear as day. I was like, oh. He's like, yeah. And he goes, I know what it is. He's like, I know what's gonna happen. He goes, only thing that can be done is I can be made comfortable. He's like, he goes, I know I don't have long. And it was almost a month to the day that we had that conversation that he passed. And it was like, I don't know, it was like the most just weird, gut-wrenching pain. I don't even know how to describe it. But it was like, it was insane. Like, the way it felt was just insane. It's impossible to describe. And even though we hadn't talked, and we just started talking after 10 years, I was like, wow, like, this is something. Like, this sucks. And like, yeah, but I don't know, you know, that's life. Like, no one gets out alive, right? It just sucked. Like, the timing couldn't have been worse. And then, like, going forward and getting married and everything that went on with that, like, oh my god, like, it, like, not saying that marriage is a horrible thing or anything. Like, marriage is a great thing. Marriage is awesome. But, man, just the sheer freaking chaos that surrounded it all. Like, the universe, I was convinced, was working against us. Of, like, we had a venue for the wedding, and then literally a freaking week before, like, people are coming from out of town, people are this and that, literally a week before, the venue cancels because they double booked. They were like, I don't know how to tell you this, but we accidentally overbooked. We got 2 at the same time. And typically, you know, or, you know, you guys would be, you know, we have another wedding at the same time, and, you know, unfortunately, you know, they were booked first. We didn't catch it. And I'm like, really? I'm like, we've had you booked for months, and you, like, I was not nice at this point. I was like, okay, you know, normally I'm like kind of easygoing, carefree, relaxed kind of dude. And thanks Tank for healing me. Like, that's awesome. But I was, you know, at this point I was on the phone and I was irate. Like, I was like, you mean to tell me that we've had you booked for months, this and that, and you've had another wedding this whole time? Like, what the? I'm like, I want my money back. I want this. I want that. Like, I was like threatening litigation, and they're like, well, I'm like, no, like, you're not. Why would I pay you guys? Like, it doesn't make sense. So, long story short, a week before our wedding, our venue to have the actual ceremony at pulled out. So we had no venue. I was like, well, what do we do? And it has to be an inside venue because it's wintertime. Like, we're doing this during winter. And I'm like, what do we do? And I remember she was driving. My wife, my then fiance, my now wife, was driving, and she's like, what do we do? I go, pull into a parking lot and let's figure this thing out. And I remember having one of the hardest conversations that her and I have ever freaking had. And we've been through some stuff. Like, we have been through some stuff, and I think that's why we're so good together. And she's like, I remember conversation word from word. Word for word. Of her, and I would just we pulled into this empty parking lot. I don't remember what the freaking parking lot was. But, she's like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, it seems like the universe is against us every step of the way. What are we doing? Like, is this worth it? And I go, listen, like, we've got people that have taken vacation time off of work that are a week out from being here, or less, that are like literally like 3-4 days from being here, that have hotel reservations or reservations at the house or this or that. Like, man, you know, like, you know, they've made accommodations, they've made sacrifices, and to be here, to be part of our day. And I'm like, we're doing this thing. Like, this thing's happening. Like, whether the universe wants it to happen too or not. Like, you know, everything short of my dead body. Like, we're doing this. And, you know, I'll never forget it. And she's like, okay, well, then we're doing this thing. And, like, the venue that we were going to have the wedding at had the, you know, part of the package was the chaplain or whatever, right? The officiator was part of the deal. So we had no one to officiate the wedding. We had, you know, no one that was ordained. We had no venue. And we're a week out. So I was like, you know, let me make a few phone calls. And of course, you know, I call my side of the family and no help. They're like, wow, that sucks. Like, literally, I remember getting that. Like, wow, that, you know, that's shitty. And I was like, thanks guys. Like, thanks for that, you know, just, you know, like, biggest thing of my life other than my daughter, like, biggest thing of my life is about to happen, and everything that we've had planned for months has crumbled. Like, we are scrambling. So we ended up, turns out the person that got us together does weddings on the side, like, officiate, is ordained, blah blah blah, and does weddings on the side. And I was like, it popped in my head. I'm like, hey, doesn't she? She goes, yeah. I go, you think she would? Like, that'd be kind of cool, because she's the reason that we knew about each other. She's the reason that we got together. And I was like, you know, it'd be kind of cool, because without her, like, we wouldn't be a thing. We wouldn't be doing this. Like, obviously, we wouldn't be in this spot. I'm not saying that's her fault. But, man, like, wouldn't it... You know, wouldn't it be cool? And she ended up, like, she was instant, like, yes, I'm in. Like, you know, I won't even charge you for it. It'll be my wedding gift. Like, what better wedding gift than getting to marry you guys? And I was like, absolutely. Like, it's so cool. It's so cool that, you know, you get to be a part of it, and, like, you're the reason in all this. And yeah, it was awesome. Like, we had her officiate, and then we did the most, like, redneck wedding ever. It was insane. It was absolutely insane. Like, we ended up doing it in my in-laws' living room, and we made a big joke of it. We made a whole, like, satire out of it. of like, oh, you know, shotgun wedding, da 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 da. And of course, everyone, you know, went to the races with that. We're like, oh my god, really? And we're like, yeah, no, like we're just being dumb. And like we hammered down on like I remember the look on my mom's face. She was appalled that we had where we had our wedding reception at. Of like, she's like, really, you're having it at a pizza joint? And I was like, yeah, like she thought I was, to the day of, she thought I was absolutely kidding. I was like, yeah, I'm having it at a pizza joint because I really like to screw with people. And you know, I've always told people I'm gonna have my, if I ever get married, I'm gonna have my wedding reception in like a craziest freaking place. It's gonna be like, you know, Hooters or something, or a strip club. And she's like, really, a pizza joint? And I was like, yeah, like, it's one of our favorite places, and we literally had our wedding reception at Louis Pizza here in Michigan. Not the chain, but the one down in the one down. I always keep saying Hamtramck. It's Hazel Park, by the racetrack, by the old racetrack. It's now like a huge warehouse or something, but yeah, like that's literally where we had our. Oh man, trying to stop from yawning. Like that's literally where we had our wedding reception at, and it was awesome. Like it was such a good time, and people were happy for us. So we were going there before we had our reception there, and I was like, you know, what are the craziest things? And my father-in-law was like, don't worry about the bill, I'm paying for it, da 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 da. I'm like, dude, like, no, like, it's cool, like, I got this because I know it's not cheap, you know. And we're drinking, and I knew that the bar wasn't cheap. The bar is expensive, like, it's really expensive there. And he's like, no, I got this, like, you guys, this is your guys, it's your wedding night, it's you get to have a good time, you let me worry about this. And like, him and I battled about that, but yeah, it was like the most redneck wedding ever, right? Like it was insane, and it was such a good time. How dare you! Really, you're gonna down them after? You sons of just dirtbags. Thank you. At least you guys are pulling back. Better run, mage. Better run, cow. I really need to make that longer. Alright. Word of glory and additional 3%. Okay. Cool beans. But yeah, it's like, it's insane. Like, everything that went wrong. And we were talking about that recently. Like, man, remember everything that went wrong right before we got married. Like it was insane. And I was like, hey, remember the time I was in the hospital with my heart? She's like, yes. Like, of course I do, you idiot. I was there. And yeah, that was not a fun time. That was a pretty terrifying time. Of like, anytime anything goes wrong with your heart is not good. No, it's no bueno. No, blow up, please. Thank you. Let's go. Yeah, anytime anything goes wrong with your heart is like absolutely freaking terrifying. So that's when I found out that I have a heart condition. Like, I had no idea that's what was going on until I was in the hospital, like, assuming that I was like, dude, I literally thought I was on my deathbed. It was horrible. I was like, so this is how I'm going out, huh? At 30 at 36 I'm going out with freaking heart problem. Awesome. And you know, since have somewhat fixed it, but still stay monitored for it. And it sucks, man. Like, The days that it acts up, I'm just absolutely grumpy and tired, and I don't want to, like, me no doing. Type what you need. And I didn't realize that at the time. I was like, man, like, life's gonna change so much. And life really didn't change a whole lot. I still do tons of stuff I'm not supposed to do, so. Life didn't really change a whole lot for me. And, you know, the wife still yells at me, like, you shouldn't be doing that because of your heart. And, oh my god, you shouldn't be eating that or drinking that. And da-da-da-da. And I still do it. Like, recently, though, I've, like, really started kind of reining everything in. Because, you know, maybe someday I have grandkids, and I actually want to be around for them. And I know it sounds crazy, but I'm like, I don't really want to leave my wife behind. You know, kind of enjoy having her around. Like, I've gotten used to her. No, I love my wife. Like, I crack jokes like that all the time around her. Like, you know, I kind of don't want to leave you. Like, I kind of enjoy you now. Like, I've learned to enjoy you. And she's like, what? And I'm like, look up from a book, go, what? And I'm like, nothing. And she'll be like, okay. So, yeah, like, it's, I don't know, like, being married is awesome. Like, if you haven't done it, you should try it. Like, I enjoy it. I didn't think I would, but I do. I enjoy it. Like, I don't know, 3 out of 5 stars. Marriage, 3 out of 5 stars. Oh crap, I'm the healer. I'm like getting focused on doing damage. Like, yikes. My bad, guys. My bad. I'm sorry. Wow, how did that just... Someone should have told me! I don't understand how that jumped up like that. Like, that's insane. Oh, you want me to click this guy? That's what you might want me to click it? And click it. Why can't you click it? Because they don't let you run it automatically. Pussy! Boop! 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 Ooh, wow. 1810. That's nice. That was a nice crit. You can die. But yeah, like, being in the hospital, man, that sucked. Like, I don't know anyone that was like, oh, I love being in the hospital. Except for the people that love being in the hospital. They love being in the hospital, but man, I remember I was stubborn the whole way there. Like, we're parking the farthest away. I'm walking in. I'm not taking a wheelchair. No one's helping me. Man, by the time I got in there, I was done. Like, I had nothing left. And tell you what, man. Like, I ever start feeling like that again, I'm going directly. Like, I'm going there. Like, dude, you better, like, fast lane that. There's been a couple of close instances that I've been like thinking about it, and I'm not really one to like, hey, I need to go to the doctor, but I'm like, you know, maybe I should have them look at this. Yeah, like anything that happens with your heart is just, it's horrible. Like, it's bad time. Like, you are so exhausted. Can't do, let me tell you, being the youngest patient on the cardiac ward, of like these nurses that are like my age, if not younger, are coming in, and I mean, they're like, they're decent, and I'm like, yeah, they're like, I was like, you know, I just need to you know, I just need to get up and use the bathroom. And they're like, oh, no, 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 no. Like, you're not getting up. And I'm like, what? They're like, you're not getting up. You're not allowed out of bed. And I'm like, the F I'm not. I remember just wanting to walk. Like, just wanting to get up and go for a walk, just stretch my legs. And they go, absolutely not. And so I decided that it would be a great idea for me to be a pain in their ass. And, not a great idea. Like, 0 out of 5 stars on that thought process. That was a bad idea. That was a dumb idea. And boy, was it ever. Like, they go, listen, will you stop calling us every 5 minutes because you want to get up and go for a walk and something you can't do? And we ended up coming to a agreement of like I won't be a pain in your ass anymore tonight on your shift if you just let me get up, walk to that door over there, and back to bed once every hour. Like, straight up, I'm like, once every hour. And they go, yeah? I'm like, yeah. They go, huh. Deal. We'll take that deal. I was like, sweet. They go, but anything happens, you call us immediately. I'm like, not a problem. I'm like, you know I know how to use the call button. And, it was awesome. Like, I figured out how to take apart, like, the cable for the sensors. Like, all the sticky sensors. The EKGs. That's what they're called. EKGs. Thank you, brain. But yeah, how to unplug all that. Which, those things suck, dude. I'm telling you, if you have any kind of chest hair, you won't have it with those things, man. Take those things off. And the wife later told me, oh yeah, the easier way to get them off is just let them fall off in the shower. And I'm like, what? And she goes, yeah. You take a good hot shower and they come right off. And I go, so you mean to tell me you got to pull all those off of me? And there's an easier way. She goes, yeah, I just wanted you to hurt. I was like, oh my god. I'm like, okay, like this is marriage. Like, this is lucky. And you know, like, second night I was there, nurses come in, and I have some of the same ones and I have some different ones. And I tell the new ones, I go, hey, if you talk to the ones that were on shift the night before, they go, no, not yet. Not yet about you. Like, what's your deal? And I'm like, well, apparently I have a heart condition I didn't know about. And they go, oh, you're like the youngest one on the cardiac floor. I go, I know. And I go, have you talked to other ones? So they go, no. I go, I'm going to be the biggest pain in your ass. And they go, yeah? They're like, yeah, really, you are? And I'm like, yeah. They go, no, you're not. And I go, you're right, I'm not, because here's what we're going to do. Every hour on the hour, I'm going to get up and I'm going to walk to that door and back to my bed real slow. And I won't be a problem. And they go, really? I go, really? And they go, huh. They're like, I don't. They're like, and then someone from that, like, just let him do it. Trust us, just let him do it. He will be, every 5 minutes, you can set your watch to it, he will be calling you for nothing. And so they learned, like, hey, we make this deal with you, like, you're cool. And it kept me happy, it kept them happy. And then they were worried about blood clots forming because my heart was screwed up for so long. So they had to give me this like industrial blood thinner, like not epinephrine. Yeah, it wasn't epinephrine. epinephrine. It was might have been epinephrine. Might have been. I can't remember what the hell it was called. All I know is like the world's smallest needle, and they're like, we're sorry. And don't know if you guys can see this or not, but I have, as I hit my mic, I have a lot of tattoos. Like, I'm not a stranger to needles. Like, okay, yeah, I really don't like getting injections. I kind of freak out about them, but I like getting tattoos. Weird thing. I was like, yeah, like that. I'm not even, like, I laughed at it. And they go, no, like it goes in, like, we have to give it to you in your stomach. And I was like, okay, like, still, that's a baby needle. And they go, yeah, but we're sorry. And I'm like, for what? For a baby needle that I'm not even like, go ahead. I'm like, stick me. And they go, boop, right in my belly. And I'm like, I don't even feel it. Like, that's the craziest thing. I don't even feel it. It's so small. They're like, you're going to. And then, oh my God, the burn. The burn. They're like, that. Like, they gave it to me and they started rubbing it and they're like, we're sorry. And I'm like, why? And they're like, I'm like, oh, like, what the? And they're like, I'm like, oh, put it out. And they're like, there it is. Like, I was like, oh, like, that's horrible. They're like, yeah, you're getting one of those every 4 hours. And it's to help break up blood clots and all that, the, like, potential blood clots, so it doesn't, like, go anywhere, like, into my brain and cause me to stroke out. And I was like, okay, we're gonna play dirty. It's like, that's what I told them. They come back, I'm like, oh, you're here to play dirty. And then they're like, yep, we're sorry. And I'm like, it's okay. Like, literally, I told them, like, by the end of it all, I'm like, it's okay. Like, just go ahead and do it. It's okay. And I'd be like, I'd look at them and be like, And they're like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. And I had like the coolest people there taking care of me and trying to figure out why my heart just decided to screw up. And it turns out that all those energy drinks are really, really bad for you. So I try not to touch them anymore. Like, no matter how tired I am, I try not to touch those. And it's hard. Like, there's days that it's hard. And I know when I have one that I feel so much worse because of it, which is the strangest thing. But it turns out, you know, doing 3 to 4 of those a night and then washing it down with a couple of cups of coffee, just not the greatest thing in the world for your body. And I'm sure other things will be screwed up because of it.
Everything rots away in the end.
Oh yeah, it was a bad time, man. So now, you know, I got to kind of be stressed out about strokes and stuff, but at least I know. Like, that's my thing. At least I know now. So if I start feeling that way again, like, hey, get me to the Shocky Paddle place like ASAP. So yeah, I'm like, You know, we monitor it. We take it day by day, and that's all we can really do.
Your homes, everything.
You can't carry anymore. Liar. So cool. But yeah, it's been a wild ride, man. Like, to get to this point, to me, to get comfortable with just sitting here and blabbling, playing a game while I'm broadcasting it on the internet is just mind-boggling to me. Because I am very much that person that just doesn't want to be seen, that just wants to remain in the shadows. That's like, I don't know, man. Like, it's how I was in school. Of like, I just wanted to hide, but I was bullied a lot in school too. So there's that. Oh, I'm dying.
But well, friend.
We've got this bug going around work right now, man. I think I'm getting it. That would not be cool. That would be rather shitty. Whoop, 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 whoop. Ruby life pools, let's go, Ruby life pools. It's a Ruby life pools. But man, it's a wild ride. Like, life's a wild ride, man. If you think about it, we're floating around on a giant freaking blue rock.
Alex Straza charged us with protecting
Going through space.
from the primalists.
Does anything really make sense? No.
Ensure
Like,
the eggs are safe and eliminate any threat on these sacred grounds.
like someone at work recently asked me about what's my take on aliens. You know, like E.T. And I was like, man, I think it's crazier to think that they don't exist. That out of all the infiniteness of space, that, you know, we're the only ones that got it right. I don't think it's possible. I think there's tons of other life out there. We're too small for them to either A, care, or B, we just haven't found them yet. Or C, they don't want to be found and they're hiding from us because we're like the ghetto of the universe. We're like the planet they roll by and lock their doors. And, kids, don't make eye contact. So I think that might be a possibility too. Of like, we're just like so appalling to them. They want nothing to do with us. But yeah, I think it's almost mathematical impossibility that, you know, we're the only ones that got it right. Being in the supposed Goldilocks zone and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm like,
If only you could have understood.
they're like, wow, really? I go, yeah, you know.
I will not allow you to disturb Meladrusa's work.
Like, if you think about it, the amount we know more about space than we know about our oceans, and we've only seen about like this much of space. Like, out of everything, we've only seen about this much. It's like the equivalent of taking a normal-sized drinking glass, putting it in the ocean, coming up and going, yep, no fish. like, you can't definitively say that there's no other forms of life out there, especially intelligent life, and stuff that's more advanced to us. And I think that's what people are terrified of, is that not only is there other other creatures, critters, and civilizations out there, but the fact that they're more advanced than us, that there's nothing that we could do that they could wipe us out in a blink of an eye if they wanted to. So, you know, there's that. We had that whole conversation. They're like, wow, really? I was like, yeah, like, I think that's what people are terrified of the unknown.
Champion. Now that you have secured the pools below, I require your aid above.
They're like, what? You know, what if they showed up and they were friendly? What would you do? I'm like, man, I'd have so many questions. Like, so many questions. So, like, they would be bombarded. They'd be like, oh, this earthling is super stupid. He needs to go away. He does not understand how to phase. And they go, what if they're not friendly? I'm like, well, then we're screwed. Straight up, there ain't nothing we can do.
Powerful primalist is attempting to burn all the nesting areas. You must clear them to get to her. I will keep watch from above while I confront the dragon who is leading this assault. Quickly, take the eggs. Save as many as you can.
I'm gonna gather them all up. Nothing you can do about it. Hooah! Hooah! Boop! Pally shield. Wow! Look what I have brought you! Yeah, suck it!
Well done. You have secured the first pool. Now see to the others.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm gonna do it again.
Keep clearing them out. Do not let
Do,
the
do, 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 do,
primalists
do,
desecrate
do,
this
do.
hallowed space.
Come on, follow me, dirtbags. What up?
You are almost to the master of these minions. Hurry onwards, champion.
I'm a paladin, you can't kill me.
The last pool is safe. She is exposed. Attack that primalist before she can summon reinforcements. Protect these life pools. No!
Force Queen cannot stop us. We are the truth.
Man, really wish I had Beacon. Like, Beacon would make this a little easier, a little more viable. I get that. 16, what am I now? 15, 14. You know what's crazy? That, we'll jump out my Resto Druid here for a little bit before I call it a night. I love healers so much, like, so fun. But, at least for me, it's fun. Druids are actually getting buffed because they're doing so bad. They're so poor. And that's coming soon. That's coming... What did they say? This 16th or 17th? What is today? Today is the 17th. Yeah, I think they're actually doing the buffs today. Because they're like, hey, these guys aren't performing like we wanted them to. And it's understandable. This one will be fun. You can actually fall through this map. Like, it's so well done. Like, I like that. I like that little hey, you know, if you really F up, you're done. Yeah, come on, let's do it. They're incoming. Incoming! Let's go kitty mode. Like, yeah, if you walk right there, you're done. Like, you walk off the side and stuff, I've done it. I'm like, whoa. Man, I got freaking parasites over here, man. Oh, don't you fear me off this. Stay strong, little rock. Stay strong, little rock. Save me from walking to my death. Nope, I'm getting out. I'm getting out. Bail out, bail out. Like, I love Resto Druid. It just... You're not getting in any raids with them right now. That's for damn sure. Everyone's trying to push. Like, I'm sure once everyone's done trying to push and they really don't give crap, they'll let anybody in, but... This is the sack release in the night which grants you. Oh, that's kind of cool. Well, I like that trinket. What I replace? res me or no? Oh, you guys suck. You didn't res me. Oh, because I died, I didn't get the experience. I don't think. So if you get blown off the side, man, you get like... Oh man, I guess I'm not getting back in there, huh? Or I'm just not going to the right location. No, I'm just being dumb. Almost walked to my death. Would have been pretty awesome. Let's see what kind of loot I got. That's the real reason I'm doing this, trying to get my gear level up, man. 515 is weak. So you step on this stuff is bad. That stuff's okay, that stuff's bad. No gear dropped. That's super lame. I really just need to throw this candy out. That's what I need to do. I need to just chuck it. All I'm doing is eating it. Ugh. Oh.
So here we are. High Speaker Eirik. Or is it just Eirik now? He swept from the Hall of Awakening into the Stone Vault. He's probably running like a frightened mouse. Wee, sleepy, cowering, timorous beastie. something else? Titanic earthen technology enhanced with magical augments. Brilliant.
Interactivable defense protocols. Seismic protocol activated. Offensive measures engaged. Dominant intruder identified. Offensive measures seismic protocol activated. All systems shutting down.
Looks like the main door's locked. Either one of these paths should lead us to an access console. Machine speakers. In the stone vault. Fanatically loyal, no doubt.
Intruders detected. Defense protocols activated. Countermeasures on. Countermeasures on! I'm going to need some personal time.
Look for another minecart. If it's here, we might as well use it, unless you'd rather walk. fused with scarred and corruption? Fascinating. Look for a service tunnel nearby. You should be able to take a minecart back to central processing. There he is. Look at him. Beyond saving. That seems like poetic justice, but let's finish this.
Still not 80. gonna take a lot to get this guy to 80. Not getting gears not helping either. Alright. I guess that'll do it for the night.